So thank you guys.
Welcome back to the casting desk. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Merlini. It's time to cast our highlight of the day. It's going to be Navi versus Zenith. Super excited for this one.
Oh yeah.
I cannot stress enough how excited I am. It's like 8 a.m. in the morning. We've been up all night. I am bounding with energy. I'm going to crash really hard after these games, but happy to be here.
Tell me more about how excited you are.
Really friggin' excited. This excited! All right, let's hop into the draft, guys. Let's see how the teams are developing. It's going to be Navi versus Zenith. As I mentioned, I think we mentioned that 20 times now. Because I feel like it's the International 3, man. It's such a treat to be casting this. And draft well underway. Spectre, the flavor, I don't know if I'd call it a flavor or any of the month necessarily, because she's been seeing some play here and there before then. But
the second pick is ridiculous.
Yeah, to give it a second pick status shows just how strong this hero is, has been as of late, and how much teams are valuing it.
Yep, and Navi starting off strong with a Chen pick. I think Chen is like one Puppy's signature heroes. He plays that hero very, very well, and I think that they will have a very easy time babysitting Spectre, and I think that they should probably be able to fend off any sort of aggressive try lane that Zenith will put out. But I don't think we've seen any of the Eastern teams do any aggro tries.
We definitely, Orange is the one team that likes to run them a lot. I mentioned the Ohio Windrunner tri lane just to shut down the enemy farmer, but they didn't do it. They had been running a lot. They kind of shied away from it. It seems like as of late, teams are kind of favoring just farming and trading and playing more defensively, which, well, that's where I hear like Spectre.
Exciting.
Spectre and then Greevil's Greed First Alchemist, two of the best heroes in the business to punish lack of aggression. So maybe they balance out there.
I feel like Alchemist could go aggressive on a Spectre though, and not the other way around. I feel like Alchemist is like one of those heroes that can contribute a lot to a triple lane and get a lot of farm. Kind of like Lifestealer. Like Spectre can't do anything in an aggressive role, so if you put on Try vs. Try, you have 3 suns, just try and kill the Spectre, luminous farm a little bit, and then you can get past that early hump. I mean, sure, you can trade off farm and just try to out farm by Greevil's Greed, but high risk, high return.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. We'll see what Zenith go for with the third pick. They've already got Alc Darks here. They're a bit melee heavy here. They do tend to clump. We'll see what they go for with that last pick. The third pick. I'm so used to the old drafting format. I'm still trying to get used to this, the new set of bans, even though I've been casting for a few weeks now. But their third pick, what will it be? There's a lot of supports in the pool. I imagine they'll start picking them up soon. They need 1 more solo and 2 supports, and we'll see what they do. The one thing we know for sure is it's Zenith. Ice plays offlane, so we're almost certainly going to see an offlane Darkseer, one of his signature heroes. But it's a game where probably Darkseer should be fine to put pressure on the Spectre. There's just not enough chain stun to bring him down.
Right. It really depends on what. I mean, they could potentially have like a jungler too as their last hero if they don't want to try and contest Alchemist farm. I mean, most likely Alchemist plus 2 other heroes will be able to zone whatever hero Navi decides to put in the offlane. So we might see like some 4-man action in Navi safe lane, the dire side top. But most likely we'll see Puppy on Chen and Kuroki on Rubik. Those 2 players, I don't think I've seen anyone else play those 2 heroes on their team. But again, very flexible in terms of what they want to do right now. I'm still a little bit unsure as to what they want to do for the mid hero. We've seen Denny play Soaring Spirit early today, but that hero is banned out, as well as Puck, and there could be a Queen of Pain in the middle. We've seen Skywrath a couple times, but it should probably be like a very strong intelligence hero, I would say.
I would love to see a Purge. It doesn't fit at all in this game. It's horrible against Alchemist and Darks here, but it would be fun anyway. We'll see what Navi go for here. You mentioned they need that hero for Dendy. They also need Funix offlane hero. In the past, I mean, he was well known for his Wisp play, his Clinks play. Obviously, Clinks doesn't fit this game. When you already have Spectre, you can't go Clinks offlane. So I'm not sure what he would go for. He's played some Bounty Hunter as of late. I don't think that fits this draft. I guess something like a Beastmaster, maybe a Prophet.
Prophet, I think, would probably work the best, because then they can put on a lot of split pressure and like split them up around the map, which Sphurion and Spectre are like excellent for. I think that would probably work best, and they can put a lot of early pressure out with Chen and the Nature's Prophet treants. And
they can also maybe slow down Zenith, because Zenith are a very good team at farming jungle stacks. Jakiro, great AoE, great as a support. They'll go Prophet. I like this a lot, because you can just use the treants to consistently block the camps, and even if your Prophet falls behind, you can catch up later when the Chen and Rubik really start getting active. So if they play it the way we've seen Ohio doing it lately, I think that could be very effective here. And
what about Mushi style? 10,000 gold in the bank.
yeah, I don't think Mushi style profit is the way to go when you have a Spectre. I think it's hardly ever the way to go. But if you're gonna go that style, you got to end the game by 40 minutes, not drag it out until 60.
So it looks like both mid heroes are still up for grabs. I mean, we could see some like very rare Rubik solo middle or Alchemist solo middle, but I don't think that will be the case. So let's see, Storm Spirit. Oh, Treant Protector.
Zenith, what do you have up your sleeve? There's a Weaver in the pool. Weaver Treant has been, I would say, the premier combo for Treant partners. Obviously, it's still good with Darkseer. Living Armor is going to be helpful on him, but if they want to go early to mid-game aggression, if they want to just try and crush Navi in the laning stage, which, hey, they have Prophet and Spectre, you probably want to come out ahead in the laning stage.
Right.
That could be an option here. And
I'm not exactly sure how Living Armor works with Dispersion. It seems like they have a lot of good multiple instances of damage to deal with Living Armor. They have Nature's Prophets, Treants, as well as Chen Creeps, and perhaps Spectre Dispersion. Again, I'm not really sure on the interaction with that.
It could be interesting. If they go with the lanes I'm thinking of, they could run Alk solo mid. We've seen, you mentioned it's rare, but it's actually pretty common for the Asian teams. Darkseer safe lane 1v1 against an off-lane Prophet. He'll match up well there. Can just constantly farm your own stack.
Right.
You can pressure the lane. You probably won't kill Prophet, but you can certainly out-farm him, get an early mech. And then they could run a Jakiro Treant Weaver aggressive tri-lane, which, because it's a Weaver plus Treant, there's a lot of killing power. But we'll see what they go for. There's a lot of other options. Darkseer off-lane, Alchemist mid. They could go for a hard carry safe lane and just try and use Living Armor to keep Darkseer safe. But we'll see what Zenith do. I would like to see them put on pressure, because Navi have a greedy draft. Chen, Spectre, and Prophet, that is very greedy.
So it looks like Navi doesn't actually really have that much to disable. They have Chen Creeps and Telekinesis, but in terms of AoE disable, like almost nothing. So I think that 3 of the very important middle heroes that are really vulnerable to disable, Queen of Pain, Puck, and Storm Spirit, are banned out. Only one by Navi, though.
Yeah. What will Navi go for? It's probably that Dendi hero mid. It'll be the Dragon Knight.
So it looks like they have a lot of push potential, and I like it. I like the pick.
It's not really a Dendi hero, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is definitely not a Dendi hero.
We talk about Dendi. It's kind of similar to Mushi. The snowball
There's no flashy
heroes,
Dragon Knight plays.
Yeah, the hero killers, the playmaking heroes. Dragon Knight could definitely be a high impact hero. You can, but I don't think it's fair to say you can make plays with this hero. You just stun, you tank, you chip away at towers. But it'll be a methodical game for Navi. Their draft is a draft that want to take objectives one by one and not be over-aggressive.
They're very, very strong at pushing and split pushing, though. Chen and Spectre and Nature's Prophet and Dragon Knight, I think that Zenith might have a very difficult time just like shuffling around the map to the constant pressure. Ooh, a Slark last pick. So screw the Weaver.
So this puts Yamate onto the Alchemist. It'll be a safe lane farming Alk. It'll be probably a defensive tri-lane, Jakiro, Alk, Treant, Slark solo mid for XY, and then it'll be a Darkseer off lane. And Slark versus Dragon Knight, how is this matchup going to work?
I mean, melee versus melee, he can pick up an early level of his Essence Shift and try and steal a lot of damage from him, but Slark's base damage is very, very low, I think, compared to Dragon Knight. Oh, actually, Dragon Knight looks like a little bit lower, but I think that it should be like a decent farm fest, and if he can Dark Pack those Dragon Tails in the mid and late game, I think it's actually a pretty effective pick. But, like, what else can he really what else can he Dark Pack? Dragon Tail and like Telekinesis about?
I don't think it removes the dagger slow. I'm not sure, but
that
would be one that I'm interested to know.
I don't think so either. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't seen Slark too much. I saw Liquid pick him up a lot versus a Bat Rider, and that worked extremely well.
We also saw, I believe it was dddota was picking them. Oh no, sorry, it was one of the teams in the Western qualifier was picking up a lot of Slark, and the team.
Was it Absolute Legends?
Right. Yeah, it was Absolute Legends. Yeah. Thanks for the bailout, Merlini.
So
Merleezy, my brother. From
no problem, LDZ. So it looks like both teams opting to do a safe lane. Again, Spectre almost always in safe lane. That's, again, he's Achilles heel, but it does make him fairly predictable as to what you're going to do for your lanes, most likely. If you're on off lane, DK middle, and triple lane safe lane, not that it's bad laning. I just think predictability is usually bad.
It's generally not what you desire, but
you don't really have a choice.
At the end of the day, Navi, they just feel so confident in these picks and the way they fit with their players, they'll go for it anyway. Living Armor up on Ice Ice Ice. He's going to contest the rune against 3 enemy heroes. It's actually a haste rune. It'll go to Navi. That'll be a nice start for them. We should introduce our teams, though. It's the first time these teams have ever faced each other. Apparently, they did not face a single time at the International 2. It'll be Ice on the off-lane Zarkseer. He's your master troll extraordinaire.
Oh, they're going on
They're
him,
trying
though.
to make a go on him at level 1, but can they really kill him with living armor? No friggin' way. That was actually just kind of funny that they even tried, but little harassment. Why not? XY, your solo mid, only plays Tinker, but this time he won't be. Or not only, but pretty much known for his Tinker play. He'll be on the Slark mid. X-Freedom, your support Treant Protector. Generally, we've seen the Asian teams have struggled a bit to really find effective usages for support Treant, or for Treant in general. Jakiro, that'll be handled by Ice. Last but not least, it'll be Yamate, the Y God, playing the safe lane, farming out.
Wow, so, I mean, looking at this offlane right now, Ice was just able to get free level 2 with living armor, and this is just ridiculous how strong it is.
Kind of broken.
Yeah, they have 3 heroes up there, and they can't zone him out, like, at all. And he's limiting Spectre's
like
farm a
going in
lot.
right now.
He's a man.
He's a man, but he's kind of cheating, right? He's got plate mail up, and his opponents are trying to fight him in Zerg skin. It's just not a fair fight. We haven't introduced Navi either. We should do that now. It's Dendimon. He'll be your solo mid. They've traveled to Shanghai. Navi looking to impress the fans. He gets some great training in before the International 3. The training begins today. It was off to a slow start with their 0-2 versus Tongfu earlier, but we'll see if they can pick up the pace. Funnick, the off-lane Prophet. Puppy playing his signature Chen. We have Havost on the Spectre. And last but not least, Kuroki. He plays Rubik. No surprises here.
Yep, no Dark Pact early on Slark, so it looks like he's going a 0-2-1 build. Fully expecting to go 1 level of Dark Pact at 4 and max pounce first, but looks like it's fairly even in mid. Oh, actually, Denny's falling a little bit behind in creep kills here. He only has half the last hits of Slark at this point.
He's got his bottle now, so maybe things will get a bit easier for him. 2-minute rune's going to spawn, but I guess it's really dangerous for Denny to go check these runes. If he gets caught by a leap, then he'll lose most, if not all, of his HP. And I like how XY is playing the lane. Just walks in, hits him a few times, backs off. His damage is really starting to ramp up. Already 6 agility stolen.
Yeah, I mean, Havos is doing pretty well on farm, even with a constant Ion Shell swing from Ice, but he is only level 2 with level 1 Ion Shell. Once he gets a lot of levels in the Ion Shell, I think it's going to be a really hard time for Spectre to farm, and this is going to be versus a solo Darkseer, mind you.
Havost is really last hitting well. 14 and 4, 2.5 minutes in against a Darkseer who's just been putting so much pressure on him. I
Without
mean,
a quelling?
This is great last hitting. And yeah, no quelling blade either. Really impressive.
But he is level
stuff
3
from
right
Havost.
now. He's going to have to deal with that, like, that Ion Shell. That's things ridiculous. He only has 1 flask left for regen, although I'm sure he'll get pulled some from either Kuroki or Puppy.
XY now picks up a bottle of his own. He started with the poor man's shield. I think he's actually pulled a bit of regen here. And, well, he can start to harass Denny more aggressively now that he's the bottle. I actually didn't see where the 2-minute rune went. It was a double damage rune picked up by Ice. He's just been using it to jungle, so nothing too exciting there. And Navi, they'll just start jungling now. They're actually maybe going to make a go on Ice. I find it hard to believe they could actually kill him through the living armor, but they're going to make a go. They have the lift. They'll auto-attack him a few times. Then the dagger flies. They can lift him up. They can toss him back down. Finally, the living armor is expended. This could actually be the first blood. Ice overextends and pays with his life. That was a picture-perfect gank from Navi, and living armor is a very, very strong skill, but it doesn't make you invincible.
Right, and actually Havos went for a 2-2-0 build, so getting that max Delta.
Oh my god, XY stole Dendy's bottle. Dendy was bottle crowing. He dropped it in the lane. XY's punished him. He's stolen it, but he might pay with his own life. One more auto attack could bring him down.
Oh.
No, the bailout from Ice. XY, you clown. You genius, you beautiful man. What a play. This hurts Dendy.
Double bottle.
This hurts Dendy so freaking bad. He's only got boots. He can't regen. Slark can really punish him now. I mean, if he gets a rune. He's got 2 bottles, but he can't find a rune. The funny thing is, I mean, Zenith can't really take advantage of the bottle. It's more just that it hurts Dendy, because I mean, if you bottle Crow with 2 bottles, it's really inefficient.
That's why you get a hero to do it. Jakiro's not doing anything else.
Yeah, that's the VIP treatment.
Oh, Ice is just going all out under jungle right now, and I mean Havos is doing pretty well on farm, but I suspect that he may have some trouble. So he actually went no dispersion, which made it easy for first blood, and Kuroki was just sitting there waiting to telekinesis the instant he surged. So I mean, great play for them for that first blood and the centaur stump by Puppy. But well, I mean, what is Denny going to do now? Is he going to buy another bottle?
You tell me. Do you buy another bottle here? Is it worth it? You really need mana regen.
I
with DK.
think so. Yeah, especially against Essence Shift too. Like he's not going to really have any mana to do anything.
I mean, if it's not that, then maybe it's a Soul Rain. But I feel he's got to get some sort of mana regen item. And well, the courier delivers the boots. Will he send both bottles back? He's going to hang on to one. I imagine he might even give one to his teammate and just sit on his own bottle. He doesn't really lack for mana right now. So Merlini, we've talked a lot about those sort of micro engagements, but let's take a look at the big picture. How do you feel the game is going overall
Ice
for both
on
teams?
top.
He's been caught top lane. The lift was there. Now they need a stun from the Centaur. It's cooling down, and he'll barely escape. Wow, but still chasing his Havos. He wants the kill. Now the living armor's up. Can it keep him safe? It's going to be 2 more auto attacks to get the kill in classic Havos style. He's still diving. He's got the dagger. He'll find the range and gets the kill. Oh, only Havos dives that far. Like, I feel like 99.9% of other carry players would have
he's still there. What is it? I mean, are they going to TP in or what?
And now he might pay with his own life. How does he get out of this? This looks to be bad.
They need to hurry up and push
attack. Oh, there's the pup. Is that a puppy creep? It is.
Certainly looks like it.
He took over a ranged creep and sent it into the tower to get Havos down.
Teamwork right there.
That is some amazing play by Puppy. Really nicely done.
So speaking about the big picture, oh, there's a second bottle.
So he's sitting on one. I would like to see him give one of these to his teammates. He doesn't really need 2 bottles, but he'll hold on to them for now.
Stun on
now
freedom.
they find Dendi at the bottom rune. Dendi getting the rune, regen rune up. So that's 2 bottles for him. That's 1,200 gold for a bottle. That sucks.
He catches a little bit of a break though with that regen rune.
Yeah, it makes it a little more worth it. End of the day, Alchemist Yamate, he is maxing Greevil's Greed. He's gone for an early Rain of Health. A very different style from what we saw out of IG. It looks like he's rushing Battle Fury and just going ultra aggressive late game.
Yep, and
ultra aggressive at the late game. Top lane, Ice, diving Kuroki. Living armor's up, but the wraparound's going to come soon from Puppy. And Ice should have to beat a hasty retreat. He's taking some auto attacks. The Satyr Blast comes in. He'll back off in the end. And still no pressure on Yamate. Another game where teams are just playing defensively and trading.
Yeah, I mean, Alchemist is just not one of the heroes that you want to leave freeform. And Spectre, I mean, he has a pretty good start, but it's just not like complete freeform like the Alchemist, though.
Mid lane, leap in. The latch is there as well from XY. He now pops the Shadow Dance. Won't be able to kill Dendi. But the threat of the tower dive is definitely there with Living Armor and Slark just naturally being elusive and hard to kill. Zenith have this mid-game, very aggressive lineup, and we could see them going for a lot of kills.
Yep, but no kills thus far on the board for them.
I want to ask you about the big picture.
Oh, Funnick too. Funnick, we haven't seen him all game.
Yeah, he's been off lane. I didn't even get to see what he's doing with the trance. I was too busy watching Ice and the bottle steal mid. But it looks like he hasn't really been able to find that many levels. It's decent, but has he slowed down these supports? That's the main question. Level 3 on X Freedom, that's okay. And 3 on Ice, so it looks like maybe he's managed to slow down their jungle game with
But Kuroki's almost 6. But I mean, that's mostly from the experience from killing Ice.
Ice is giving away a lot of that. He's level 7 end of the day, so he's still doing pretty well himself. Finally, XY is going to find a rune. 2 bottles, 1 rune in them. Let's see if he's going to wait to use the other bottle in the next rune. Actually, do you know what happens if you have 2 bottles and one's empty and you already have a rune bottle? Does it use...
I'm not sure. I think I actually had that happen to me once. I don't remember what happens.
Does it... Like,
I think you can, like, manually do it.
Like, I guess you could drop... No, you can't drop the bottle when there's a rune in it. So yeah.
I think you can just like left click on the bottle and then left click on the rune, like old school bottle style, instead of just like smooth right clicking, where it's all spoiled.
I guess you could do that. We'll see if it comes to it. Just the random little mechanical questions that interest me now. But they're wrapping around again. Ice. He's proven to be a pretty easy kill so far. Can they find another one? The Haunt is here, and the chase is on. Havost is going to join the fight, but he's fairly low, and Ice simply going to TP out. Once Rubic Lift is used, there's just not a whole lot they can do. Even Dendi joins the top lane.
Oh, he only TP'd to the T1 tower. I thought he TP'd back home. He was like a little bit low on mana.
Great reaction from him, though, because he can at least slow down this push.
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to have to tank tower, though.
Yeah, I guess Havos will have to tank it, but he'll have to stay away from his own creep wave, which should be fine.
He needs backup. There's Living Armor.
Living Armor's good at healing towers up. It's not going to stop a 4-hero push with Chen creeps.
Yep. And they quickly nuke down the Ion Shell creep, and there is no glyph up. But again, they're going to have someone to tank tower. What are the teams doing? Oh, looks like they're just trying to trade T1 on bottom.
Navi getting an early tier 1, and the trade is not going to come for Zenith. They'll work on this tower. They can maybe get it, but Yamate has Battle Fury already. I think he just got it. It's sub 10 minutes. Might have even had it.
And he got the tower.
Hopefully our stats man caught the Battle Fury, because we were trying to catch the action top, but this is about as fast as you can.
Wow. 1,000 gold, boots, Battle Fury, 10 minutes in.
What is the Battle Fury timing record? This might be, if it's not the fastest Battle Fury, it's got to be within like a minute of it, if not less.
Yeah, that is some Max Grievous Greed action, action right there.
If you can get a Battle Fury this fast, now he's got Shreds, he's got Quelling Blade up. This is where it's hard for Spectre to keep up. Spectre is 1-0-1. Havost, he's even taken down a tier 1 for his team. And he got the last hit. And he's still like 2k gold behind already. And it could only get worse from here.
Yep, and Dendy's still doing pretty well on last hits. I mean, he's still very poor though. He has treads and bottle and 500 gold right now. He also has sentries just pulled him from Puppy just in case. And it looks like Dark Pact has been picked up by Krogi. Probably one of the least useful spells for him this game.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take the damage from Dark Pact. He also doesn't really want to walk next to people to make it effective. He'd much rather have the leap. Even the, I guess ideally it would be the Shadow Dance though.
Yeah. I mean, Ice Path is phenomenal. Unstable Concoction is decent. Overgrowth is really good, and most of Darkseer spells are incredible to steal as well.
Let the farming begin. The neutral's being stacked. Yamate, it's 6 minutes faster than the average. My goodness.
And he already has camp stacked for him. Oh my goodness. This is going to be one crazily farmed Alchemist. Look at this camp to the left too. Oh, wow.
And Navi are definitely, they're going to enter the arms race of the farm wars as well. Funnick is going for a Midas. He's got the gold for it now. Dendy, of course, is going for more mid-game items. Somebody's got to, but Navi want to take this late game with Spectre, with a Prophet, and a Midas, but can you get to late game? That's going to be tough.
I actually like the Alchemist build. He's going for a max acid spray just because Navi does have that early game push lineup with the Furion and the Chen, and going that instead of max unstable concoction will allow him to repel these pushes that much easier, especially with living armor constantly.
In general, Zenith, they have a great counter, a lineup to kind of counter this. Slark can actually clear waves very quickly with max Dark Pact, and obviously Darkseer can as well with Ion Shell. They can trade fairly effectively here, I feel. They're going to work on the tier 1 top. That'll force a reaction from the Spectre. He can still haunt back in to fight bottom, so that's not too bad. But, well, we'll see Slark now rotate top. He's got the double bottles. He used the regen rune in one. He has an invis in the other. Double bottle action. This is truly Alienware Cup Dota at its finest.
I mean, they're trying to siege this bottom tower, but they can't do anything versus it. They have Ice Path, they have Living Armor, and they have Acid Spray as well as Battle Fury. I mean, it seems like a waste of their time. They need to make a move soon, or else, I mean, it's just a loss for them. But look at Slark in the back.
Well, the best part is Yamate's not farming jungle camps right now, where Spectre is farming top. They'll go in now. They lift Ice. Haunt comes within a millisecond of it. And now Yamate is hitting creeps. He's trapped in. Havost, Reality's in. Now Dagger's Ice, who surges himself away. It won't be enough. He'll go down. Yamate channeling the stun. He nails Havost with it, but the creep support is in. And I don't know if Havost is actually going to be able to get out of this alive. He's low. Tower continues to focus him. Finally, it stops, but Ice joins the fight. Slark leaps in. 3 dead for Navi. The other 2 dying while that was happening. Just Havost diving so incredibly far. Wow. His teammates getting picked off around this area.
I think that was a buyback from like a level 4
twin-headed dragon.
Yeah, he was like so low level and actually was really beneficial to them. But again, this lineup from Zenith is just extremely good at dealing with the early game pressure from Navi. Sure, they lost the T1 tower on top and lost a couple or had a couple of deaths from Darkseer, but past that, they've been doing like extremely well at fending Navi off and wasting their time.
XY will now go for BKB. I just can't get over the double bottle. He's just doing it to taunt Dendy, I feel, because it probably would be better at one of his teammates at some points. But Ice farming the jungle. He'll have his mech after this massive stack of neutrals. Zenith are playing some of the cheesiest Dota you will ever see. Just greedy safe lane, Greevil's Greed max, camp stacking, shenanigans galore. In terms of gold, it shoots up in a hurry. They now lead by 4k gold, about 2k experience. It's going to get a whole lot worse, though. Once the ancient stacking really comes into play.
They have Furion, though. I mean, it's
definitely going to get a lot worse.
Right.
But it's more going to be the question of last game is, can you farm enough to win? Like, you could be 10, 15k gold ahead.
I mean, Alchemist is one of those heroes that with, like, significant amounts of farm, you can just, like, absolutely destroy towers, especially when they're going mass BKBs like they do. Dispersion won't be that big of a deal at all come late game.
Yeah, go ham on the towers. That'll be the plan for them. XY, close to the BKB I mentioned. He'll sit mid. Navi, such a good early pushing lineup with Chen, with Prophet, with Darks, or with Dragon Knight, but they've only taken the tier 1 top. And Zenith have just done a great job, like you pointed out, a lot of abilities to defend their towers, of holding onto those towers.
Both teams have pretty decent Roshan lineups right now. We have Living Armor as well as Alchemist on the side of Zenith, and we have Furion as well as Chen. Both of those heroes are excellent at taking out Roshan, and I will be interested to see who will take out that first. Again, in the prior series, we haven't seen either team take out Roshan, and this one is definitely not like they should do it right now because they can just sneak it in. No team has control of the game right now.
This is also not a Venge Alchemist, massive minus armor with Enchantress creeps line. I mean, they do have Chen creeps, I guess, but they don't have the minus armor yet, so Navi, if they want to go Roche, they'll have to wait for a more opportune time. For the time being, Kuroki is just trying to find the right spell to steal. He's still an Ion Shell. Actually a pretty fantastic spell to steal. Vacuum would be ideal. XY jumping on Funnick, top lane, brings him low, cannot pick him off. He TPs back to base, and Alchemist, 4k gold ahead of the Slark, of his own Slark. He's 5k gold ahead of the Spectre. Can't even compare the two heroes correctly because
there's a smoke from top.
He's falling behind so much.
They want to kill the Alchemist, but it looks like he's going to bounce before the wave, or before the wave completes. So good awareness by him. I mean, if they waste their time with his
He's got his BKB.
Oh, yeah.
16-minute BKB treads, Battle Fury Yamate, and they have the tier 1 up. So if they really dive this and he just turns around and pops BKB, it could be bad. They're still chasing. They could maybe get Dendi in range for a stun. It's getting closer and closer. Funnick's teleported in, but now the BKB's delivered. He pops it and he turns around. He's channeling the stun. He's manning up. He stuns too. He's driving them back, but he needs more assistance to actually win this fight. The send back is there. Kuroki brought to safety. Navi in a headlong retreat. They did force out a 10-second BKB. If they just get out, that'll be pretty decent. Havost has reality'd in, and now he's on the run. Gets latched up by XY. Overextended. Classic Havost. Pays with his life. It's always boom or bust with this guy, and this time, it's definitely a bust.
Wow, what a timely BKB. I mean, it was very smart of him. If you notice, like, the path he ran to, I think he ran, like, down and then left instead of, like, diagonal down. Like, Furion TP'd expecting him to be at the small camp, but he was actually picking up the BKB, which, I mean, I don't know whether he would have taken out the small camp without picking up the BKB, but still, that was just, like, a really just perfect timing from the Alchemist.
And now he's got another 1,200 gold. All of a sudden, he is literally running his own personal mint, now topping off our Spectre by a good 6k. He was once ahead by 2k, then it was 4, now it's 6. You go another few minutes, Yamate's going to have 6 slots, and poor Havost is just going to be finishing his friggin' Diffusal Blade, only 970 net worth. Obviously Navi have great late game, but they got to get to the late game. The late game for Zenith might start at the 25-minute mark at the rate that Yamate is farming.
Yeah, and I mean, Funnick, I mean, he's been farming most of the game with 0 deaths and 0 kills and only 1 assist, but, I mean, he's not even looking that great in the farm department.
I kind of feel like this is how IG should have played their last match, but, well, we'll see how things work out. Zenith, they're pushing the bottom lane. They're chipping away at the tower. Navi, a little bit on the defensive here, but certainly not out of the game yet. You can never count out Spectre, Prophet. XY roaming through the jungle. He's picked up a BKB. Big item for him. Ice, ice, ice. Surge away. Runs to the right just so the Dendi can't Dragon Tail him under the tower. Nice small adjustment from him. And in the end, Zenith, they apply a bit of pressure. They'll back off. I will say, it's not that Yamate needs more farm, but I would like to see Zenith stack the Ancients, because he could definitely take advantage of that.
Oh, you can always use more farm. Just talk to Mushi.
1-800-MUSHI. It's actually a pretty badass phone number. I would love to have that. Funnick's going to get caught in the jungle. He'll try to TP out immediately, but I think it's too late. One more hit. He barely escapes by the skin of his teeth. Wowza.
Yep. I mean, he even had Agi treads on, too, so it wasn't that.
Yeah. Oi, oi, oi. That was close. Now XY, well, he'll go right onto Havost. He's bouncing from one lane to the next. Even though he's not finding kills, he's really shutting down the farm of Navi's heroes. And without the tier 1 top, mid, or bottom, they're hard-pressed to find that much-needed farm. Whereas Yamate, he farms wherever he wants. He farms at the enemy tower. He farms the stacks in his jungle. He could even go mid or to the Ancients if he'd like. Zenith are not being pressured whatsoever.
He's just so good at farming safely. Like, if you notice, he's just, like, acid sprays and then, like, backs out and then, like, goes back into last hit. So he's, like, always in, like, a relatively defensive position. And, like, when he's in a very dangerous position, he has living armor as well as his ultimate up usually. And, I mean, Navi has been looking for any sort of opening that they can get, but Zenith just aren't giving them any.
And of course, it's not just the Alchemist, the Slark. They do have a mech up on Ice Ice Ice. He's also managed to hit level 11, 19 minutes in for... He died repeatedly top lane. This is not a decent comeback. Or it is a decent comeback, to say the least. Dendi farming some ancients of his own, getting closer and closer to a BKB. Navi trying to hang on here. Puppy farming in the jungle. He's picked up a mech as well. Navi are getting some items, but it's bottom lane where Kurogi manages to throw one back. Ice 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 joins the fray. They'll push this wave in. X-Freedom lurking in the trees. He's going to Quelling Blade his way through. Do Zenith ever just play Dota? They're always playing this clowny, not straight-up game.
That's like a net play right there.
It must be infuriating for their opponents. The pain's coming out from Zenith. He's saying, let me Quelling Blade through. I'm going to backstab Overgrowth them. Zenith, the circus is really in town for these guys today. It's every little tactic, stealing bottles, Quelling Blading their way through trees, and he's going to make his go now. He's got a couple more trees to eat. He's almost completed his path, but the fight happens while he's waiting to get in there from the backside. He eats that last tree. He's got the Overgrowth available. He walks in, but it doesn't matter. Kuroki's been blown up. Puppy gets caught, latched in position. XY drops him low. He should be taking a fall. Maybe not yet. Actually stunned. Test of faith to the face, and Puppy's gonna live. Stops microing for a second in the acid spray. Ice 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 surges in. Is he running or is he fighting? It's hard to say. The dagger follows him. He's gonna TP out. There's a Dendi stun. He'll get caught out. He should fall. He ran all the way around the world. He got cornered like a caged animal, and he got brought down. And I have no idea how it happened, but Zenith actually lost that fight.
No Overgrowth. He spent all the time quelling me around, but did not actually use that Overgrowth.
Sometimes you're a clown, and sometimes you're a mad genius. And this time, X-Freedom.
I'm also surprised that Slark didn't uses BKB too. So I think they had like a very good initiate at the start. But I mean, he's like trying to dive into the tower against like a couple of stunners and like Spectre B on him without Dark Pact or BKB up. I mean, both. It's a little bit strange, but I think Zenith still has like pretty good control of this game considering the gold difference. But I mean, it was going up and up and up until the last fight.
There's definitely this element to Zenith of just being show-offs, and I mean, Navi's guilty of that too, where they just want to make big plays. They want to impress the fans, and sometimes it might come at the cost of the safest, most stable way to try and pull ahead and win the game. Mid lane, Yamate will jump in, chops off Kuroki's head. That was an execution, if I've ever seen one. And with the BKB, can just find those kills. Oh, by the way, has a Reaver, not far off of a heart. Does he have a Vitality Booster on the Courier? Not yet, but it's going to be around a 23, 24-minute heart, maybe a little bit later. Ridiculous farm for this Alc, but can they convert it into full map control and just a positional advantage? So far, Zenith, they've had a big lead, but they have started to slow down in terms of accumulating additional advantage.
I mean, they have Slark, but they're not playing super aggressively with him, like with Living Armor, like I expected them to, like we see some teams do with
And
Weaver.
again, X-Freedom again. He's going to tank Quelling Blade through.
So sneaky.
They now latch in. They catch a Boast. He's trying to run away, but the latch holds him in place. Well done with the Pouncer. And this time, the Quelling Blade really pans out. Overgrowth for a Spectre kill. Great little trade. Yamate channeling stun. He's got BKB. He'll lob it in mid. Is he really going to dive Dendi? No, sorry, no BKB. It was pulling down, and they'll back off. But they get a tier 2. That's really the big thing for Zenith. They need to take down these outer towers and establish some better map control.
Yep, they need to get Roshan too.
Also,
and Dendi has his BKB
also,
up.
Havos died with like 3,700 gold. He is going Sacred Relic, and that just got delayed by a good minute or two.
Yeah,
and now the jump in mid. XY's going to leap, whiffs it, and Kuroki should be able to escape.
Yep, he has Vacuum too. Very, very important spell for him to have.
Navi just trying to keep the lane pushed out mid.
Oh, he has a heart completed.
Completed heart. I guess he had the recipe on the ground or something. Now it's another 500 gold. They'll surge back in. Do Navi really want to take this fight? It's going to be very dicey, I feel. Funnick on the run. XY giving chase. He's still got his BKB. He hasn't popped it yet. He leaps in. He grabs Puppy. That is not where Puppy wants to be. Now the BKB comes out. He'll take a spill. XY can leap away in just a second or so. Spectre's haunted in, but Havost haunts in and runs away. Throws out a feudal dagger, but XY should be able to live. In the end, they only get the Chen, but they're not done yet. Yamate drops the stun. Now comes the Ice Path. Macro Pyre could be there, but got backed away. Stolen by Kuroki. Now the Overgrowth is there, and that should hold them in position. That should be enough to get the kill. Surge on Yamate. 2 more slices, and Dendi should fall, but he pops the bottle charges. He's able to live. They're only actually killing supports. It feels like it could be so much worse for Navi, but this is the big problem, Merlini. They just lost the tier 2.
Yeah, and they were busy on the right side chasing the Slark. It looked like you were busy catching fight on mid, but I was keeping my eyes on the Slark. The Havost as well as Funnick were both trying to catch the Slark, and he just barely escaped with probably 50 HP while he was TPing.
I thought he was for sure gone there, but he was so far away, and you can just spam the leap, but the pounce. But I guess it was closer than I expected. So Good for Zenith that he got away in the end. Observer Ward deployed in the lane. X-Freedom. These Southeast Asian supports are just so freaking annoying for their opponents. I mean, these cheeky little pickups like the Quelling Blade, the Ninja Tactics, and the Treants. It's guerrilla warfare for Zenith supports, and it's proving to be a huge nuisance for Navi. So where does Zenith go from here, Merlini? They've taken the tier 2s bottom and mid. What's the next objective?
Well, hold on after.
Yeah,
okay, well,
should be okay.
Slark actually has a Basher right now. He is tired of this Furion just doing whatever he wants. He has his Shadow Blade now, so if XY picks up a Dust, I think he's in a pretty good position to like kind of lock Furion's like farming area down for the rest of the game, which is going to be really, really important. But I don't know, they have like some sort of strange interaction with like Slark and Spectre. Spectre can like dagger Slark, so he can't use his ultimate for the most part if they have Revelation, but like Slark can like pounce him so that he can't actually like dagger into the trees, so both heroes can like kind of kill each other. But in terms of raw late game power, Zenith has like by far the huge edge, especially with the recent Heart and looks like Hyperstone pickup onto the Alchemist, and they've got enough map control so that they can finally take Roshan. This is a very, very big set, especially considering that they're Radiant. So I think they just need like one big item on Alchemist, maybe finish an AC, and then they need to break the base, because Spectre is just going to be scary, especially with his Radiance build. You need to like try and like finish him off while they're still a little bit weak before he gets the Manta, before he gets his Heart.
Time bomb. Ice. Oh no, yeah. XY's on the hunt now. He's going to find Puppey in the jungle. He can leap and kill him off with ease. He'll do it now. The pounce is in. And with one bash, Puppey should fall. Doesn't get the bash yet. Still chasing. He's saying, where's my bash? There's his bash. And Puppey's probably going to fall. Puppey unable to survive. Really close. But now XY caught under the tower. He may have overextended here. Mech comes in for my size. Pops the BKB. But in the end, they don't accomplish a whole lot. Puppey is dying, but, well, they're forced.
They're trying to kill Rubik.
They're using a lot to do it.
Can he get a bash?
Oh, in the tree line, able to blink, able to TP out in the end. You mentioned Zenith have a really scary late game. The other thing is, their late game comes like now.
Right.
I mean, at least for the Alchemist.
Alchemist is huge. Like, let's look at the net worth.
This is 35-minute farm, at least.
He has over double Spectre's net worth.
And while that's happening, XY, you mentioned he can hunt the Prophet. Completely missed that one, but has Dust. Probably got a bash, finds the kill. And now top lane. 4 heroes grouped up. They may back off, but Zenith have really boxed Navi in at this point. They lead by 11k gold. They're up by, well, actually even in terms of experience, although a lot of that is probably concentrated in the Prophet, the Spectre, but Navi have no outer towers, and it gets hard for them to farm now. With a Slark on the map, even the Prophet isn't really safe.
Right, they have DK, they have Chen, and they have Nature's Prophet, but they've only taken out one T1 tower, and I think Zenith has done a fantastic job of just like countering their pushes at like every stage of the game. So like early game, they had Living Armor as well as a variant from Alchemist who could just spam Acid Spray as well as Ice Path. So they did that to try and defend towers. They had Darkseer on top, Ion Shell to keep pushing out the lane, and then now later game, they have Slark there in place with a Basher with Dust to try and just prevent any sort of split push that Nature's Prophet can put out. And I haven't really felt the presence of Nature's Prophet at all.
Yamate, are you serious? Lift it up. He has his ult available and the BKB. Will he use it now? He pops the BKB. He pops the chemical range, but he's fighting under the tower. If he dies, he's going to come back in regular Alch form with no BKB. Yamate, that was just an awful engage, and now they're going to lose the Twin-Headed Dragon as well. They do kill off Havos, but Yamate Sprout, even if they can't kill him again, he's going to do a whole lot less damage to this tower. Able to get away.
They killed Spectre, though.
They did kill Spectre. In the end, Havost said, if you're going to be a man, I am too.
Yeah, I mean...
Challenge accepted.
They're so vulnerable at this point now. Like, Navi has this, like, very weak Spectre. When you just have Radiance, Phase, and Drums, you're so weak. Once you get your Manta or your Heart, then you can actually start doing a lot of damage. But at this point, like, it's very hard for him to find some sort of farm because you really want to be able to abuse your jungle, abuse, like, the split push capabilities while the 4 of your other players play very aggressively. But I mean, after Danny got set back with that bottle mid, after the early push is thwarted, ooh, Puppey might die in middle or top lane here. Just
the fact that there's even a chance he might die there when he's in the shadow of his tier 3 is pretty bad. I mean, I feel like XY has been the main reason Zenith is doing so well this game. Ice was dying top. Yes, Yamate got free farm, but Navi have been forced to devote so much to deal with him. Now Funnick, he's trying to find farm in the enemy jungle. He goes into Shadow Blade, but the Ice Path is there and narrowly misses him. TPing away. Sentry is dropped. No overgrowth. Could have just clipped him from low
I thought
ground
he was
to high ground.
Oof.
But in the end, you can start channeling it again, and maybe wouldn't have been able to get the kill.
Yeah, but I think the Zenith has just been doing a great job at responding to Navis. They've tried to shut Spectre's farm down early. We already talked about how they like responded to the pushes, and now again they're like containing them, shutting down their farm, killing their Spectre, like pushing away the Furion from the towers as well as the jungle. And I mean they're just playing phenomenally at this point.
We've been talking pretty much all day about Alchemist's farm, because how can you not? It's been absurd.
There's
but
the AC.
End of the day, there's also going to be an Abyssal Blade very soon on Slark. 150 gold away. Could sell a bottle and have it now. And he's using Dendy's bottle currently. He's very, very close. There might be an engagement in the enemy jungle, though. X-Freedom on the low ground. Puppy farming. He doesn't know what he's walking into. This could be bad. There's an Overgrowth available. A Leech Seed as well. They won't go. Instead, they say, let's just kill the Rex. They all saw Caress up, as mentioned. Kuroki, he's managed to steal Acid Spray. That'll help slow down this push. They lift him up. They throw him back. They stun him. He's maybe lost less than a fifth of his HP, and he's still working on the rack. He'll heal back up in a hurry. There's also a Blink Dagger and Ice Ice Ice. He picked that up very recently, delayed his Scythe Device for better initiation on this 5-man mid. No Abyssal Blade. XY is 50 gold away. I feel maybe just sell the Teleport Scroll and go for it, but how committed is Zenith to this push? We're about to find out. Chemical Rage will end. It's coming back soon. Funnick working on that tier 1. It'll be Navi's second tower of the game if they can finally get it.
Oh, they're being back.
The teleport parade to that lane, and Funnick, he'll Shadow Blade away. Mission accomplished for him.
Oh, look at that gold for... Oh my goodness, this is Alchemist. So stacked. 22,370 net worth. And that is, I mean, he's like 2.5 times the Spectre
right now. His CS isn't even that ridiculous. 260 at 31 minutes is not that crazy. But leap in, catch out Kuroki, XY will. Now Ice jumps in. He vacuums back Dendy into an Ice Pet, into an Overgrowth. Even if he BKBs, he's probably going to drop here. He won't even bother. He'll go down, and they caught Puppy as well. Blown up in the Macro Pyre. Triple kill for XY. He has been out of his mind this game. 8-1-4. Navi getting absolutely steamrolled this game. Slam to the deck, really. And Yamate, he'll push in bottom lane. He'll go back mid. They're looking to take a lane of Rex. This might be it.
Yeah, I mean, very cool use of Slark by Zenith. I haven't really seen him too successful in the solo mid role, but, I mean, they're just doing everything that they need to do. Like, Slark just running around, killing everybody while Alchemist secures his farm. I mean, this game is really close to being over.
You just can't stress enough how much it hurt Dendy to lose his bottle. Being forced to buy a second bottle really screws you. And also he couldn't bottle Crow during that time. He wasn't able to push the lane as much. And he really started to fall behind. DK is much more reliant on his nuke than the Slark, who can just auto-attack, rely on Essence Shift. And you mentioned it also lowers the DK's int, so it hurts him that way as well. Has less mana to spam nukes. I won't say it cost them the game, but it really opened things up a lot for Zenith. And the other thing was that Navi just could not really find that early tower push. I mean, they got the tier 1 top. That's great, but they tried to push bottom, and Acid Spray just completely shut them down.
I mean, I think that was just very smart by him. Leveling up the Acid Spray just completely nullified that early game push, and they can just constantly push out their lane. Sure, they got another T1 tower, but 2 T1 towers in 32 minutes when you have a Chen, a Furion, and a DK, as well as a Spectre, it's just not where you want to be.
And for Navi, well, there's double smoke up on Jakiro. They'll be very worried if they leave the space. They don't know it, of course, but it just shows you Zenith, they realize they're one big fight away from taking this game. Abyssal Blade is up on XY, and a casual Ultimate Orb as well. Probably we'll see the Eye of Skady. That item is so good on Slark, but whatever he wants, XY can farm towards it right now.
I mean, look at this tree. He has Blink Dagger, Medallion, and Ghost Scepter.
X-Freedom is such a
As
clown.
well as his Quelling Blade. He needs that Quelling Blade so he can do the sneaky routes.
Pinoy pride. If there are any Pinoy viewers watching, X-Freedom is half Pinoy and very proud of it. And well, he's doing right by the Pinoy fans.
What item does Alchemist have now? Oh, he has a Manta style.
I like this. This is a great choice. Navi don't have that much AoE, and certainly not enough to do with Manta, Alch illusions, with ACR there, as well as the Heart. I mean, these illusions are going to be tanky as hell. Over 3k HP for those, and great. It's just a great item to siege the base.
And I mean,
now they'll go. XY jumps in. BKB is there. The leap did not connect, but he's still giving chase. He wants another pounce. He abyssals Dendy. They back in. This could be the end for Navi in game 1. Dendy caught. Puppy caught. Everybody caught. Kuroki, he's managed to steal Overgrowth. He walks forward. He does get it off, but Yamate doesn't even care. 3,800 HP. 21 armor. They've lost 1. They may lose 2. The backline heroes are dying, but the real question is, can they kill Yamate? Can they kill XY? They'll get XY, and now Yamate will self-stun. They're killing off everybody except for the Alch, who's at full HP, has not been scratched. Is he just going to go back in and start hitting the Rex? He's got creeps in the base. Yamate says, please, by all means, chase my Darkseer. I'm going to try and Rax you. That was a great defense from Navi, though. And oh, they're actually chasing Ice Ice Ice. They canceled their TPs here, it looks like. And Yamate finds a kill. Kuroki left to his own devices. Gets absolutely butchered.
Where's his team at?
Well, I think Dendi TP'd and then canceled it. The Spectre will TP back now, but Yamate just takes the Rex 1v3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might have been
stuff.
canceled by the vacuum, so good job by Ice there, like allowing the Alchemist to take out this tower. Wow, Pavos is trying to man up on the Alchemist.
Yamate's just taking the
Good
Rex.
luck.
This Alchemist is worth 29,000 gold. It might be, it's like not quite what Navi's entire team is worth, but it's almost as much as the 3 cores. He stuns Pavos. He brings him down. It really is the slap chopper Alchemist in action. Pops Manta, looks to run. The dagger will still follow him. He works on the range Rex. I think he figures I'm probably going to die here. GG from Navi. He's still not dropping. He's still not dying. They're all jumping in, but they might just end up, they'll finally kill him at long last. But they've called GG. It was mega creeps. While this happened, the other lanes pushed in. My goodness. Woo, what a circus of a game.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Spectre is hot, but not that hot.
Yeah.
I mean, she got Radiance, but after that, her farm just like slowed down tremendously just because of the constant pressure out by Zenith. I think that Radiance is better suited for like super long farming games, such as the game we saw earlier, but yeah, Alchemist.
I'm just watching Yamate solo kill Spectre with just a Manta and a single stun. Normally, Spectre's supposed to be tanky.
Yeah, not this game, but I mean, they had a second pick, and they just had a lot of good solutions to it. They like haunted in the middle of fight. He like overgrowth everybody. Again, the Slark pounds to keep him leashed. They had like they just seemed like just be able to deal with him very well. Not worthy of a second pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, really fantastic performance here, though, from Zenith in Game 1, and they take another much-needed win for themselves. I'm actually not sure what their record in the groups is now, but Navi continues to struggle now. I mean, there's a lot of factors here at play for Navi. They literally just got to Shanghai. They're probably jet-lagged. They played a bunch of best-of-3s before they travel. Not to make any excuses for them, but they may not be quite on their A game just yet.
That's loser talk, LDZ.
Everything I say, Merlini's like, that's loser talk, LD.
That's only some of it.
It's like, dude, I need to sleep. That's loser talk. Dude,
Also,
I'm hungry. That's loser talk.
But regardless,
yeah.
strong performance out of Zenith right there. Let's see what our analysts have to say.
Pretty awesome game there. I think the story is a very farmed carry. Which one was it? Oh yeah, the Alchemist. What was that? 13-minute BKB Battle Fury? Is that what it was?
I know he had like a 10-minute BK or Battle Fury treads, and then I was and then I was like, oh, okay, well, the game is pretty much from here. It's gonna decline, and it started at the top lane when Ice was actually he did die twice, but at the same time you have to realize that every time Havas dived him, he wasn't getting farmed, and on top of that, the lane was being pushed like slowly and steadily, and Ice was able to actually like gain levels out of that, whereas Funnick wasn't having as good of a time. And so I think if you die, but you're getting 3 or 4 levels out of it every time, it's always going to be worth it. Especially if you're denying the carry farm by proxy because he's diving you.
Yeah, and when a hero like Spectre goes for a phase into a drum, it's not as much of an accelerant build, whereas the Alchemist maxed out his Grievous Greed first, and then he went max out Acid Spray, which is probably the highest farming potential build that you can get, and he got a Battle Fury, so he just went all of these farm items, and once he hit the BKB, he basically stopped everything that Navi could do. They could jump on him and they could do a bunch of right click, but who cares? He even went a really late armor item. I believe he went Battle Fairy into BKB, and then he had like a heart, and then he got a Hyperstone. Yeah. I mean, he just completely skipped the plate mail, so he was not worried at all about the physical damage output. Once he had the magic immunity, he knew that there was very little chance that he could die. So the team fight just went really, really well for Alchemist, and since Spectre was behind on farm, he really hard countered the hero. I mean, magic immunity stops the Radiance, it stops Desolate, I believe, and the Dispersion as well. So, like, it's just so good. And the minus armor will reduce his tankiness, and he could just right-click down the Spectre, and it never really became a threat. And he just got so much farm on the hero. And, like, Navi did a great job trying to fight it out. Another thing we can talk about is, of course, losing the bottle. I just felt bad for him. But I think despite that, he did a pretty good job on the mid lane. I mean, losing 600 gold in the early game is huge. That's like dying 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and also the Slark getting that, I mean, it's not just the fact that you lost the bottle, but the Slark got a free bottle on top of that, which it actually didn't help him too much, but on other heroes it might have made a bigger difference. Like, imagine if, I don't know, like
a mag or something?
Yeah, it's the bottle.
It's like shockwave all day.
Just the fact that Dendi had to go back, or not, he had to refarm up another bottle, and it came slower, right? Because he had to he didn't have the mana to spam breathe fire, and then that delays your treads, and then that delays your movement in general, and that actually delays like your pushing, and just the fact that he lost that. I mean, he actually did quite well though, despite that.
Yeah.
Like he was actually, I think he was 4th in net worth actually. So despite the fact that he lost that, he did an admirable job trying to come back, but it was almost like too big to handle at that point.
Yeah, there's usually not that many mobile heroes on the mid lane, so it's a little scary sometimes. I personally don't like putting the bottle on the ground, but I know it does save you a little bit of time, and sometimes that can translate to last hits. So unfortunately for Den, he takes a little bit too much of a gamble there, loses the bottle. But even still, regardless of the bottle loss, I think the Alchemist just pretty much farmed perfectly, and he countered a lot of what Navi wanted to do. So Navi's going to drop for game 1. I believe that's going to put Zenith at, I think, 2-3 in the group, and puts Navi at 0-3. If we can take a look at the group standings, we can see how this is going to affect things.
We may not have
All
them
right,
ready.
I'm sorry. I put him on the spot. I just assumed that everything was great. All right, so Navi's going to go to 0-3. Zenith is going to go for 2-3 as a result of that match. In a second, we'll have game 2 of Navi versus Zenith. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just
No shoutouts, no weird sayings.
Hi EGM and Bulldog if you're watching.
That was okay, I guess.
I guess I
That
don't
was
know.
the worst. That was
was
the
the
worst
worst.
shout out.
No
Let's
gang
see.
signs?
Last time
I would be mad that you shouted
I had-
me out if
I
that's
had-
the quality of shout out.
I had gang signs. I did Tupac for life.
Say Kawaii Ugu.
I said
How many-
Kawaii Ugu.
hopefully more than once.
I've for people that are like really confused when I say random stuff, people like instead of asking for shout outs now, they try to get me to say like progressively weirder stuff.
Well, that was. It's
You're
not
certainly
accelerating.
delivering there.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so I think we're gonna take a quick break before the game start, and we'll get into Zenith versus Navi game 2. So we'll be right back with that, guys.